Why, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Josie Dumont podcast, hosted by me, Josie. And today I'm joined by Celia, who I first met for a group recording over on the Woman Up podcast by Martha. So shout out to Martha as well. And as soon as Celia mentioned what she's out here to do, I just knew already, like, okay, I got to ask her at some point to come onto my podcast. So I'm just like so happy that you are here because you are a baddie Pilates teacher and
No.
an advocate for women empowerment by helping women to come back to their body and embrace sensuality and femininity. So it's definitely a topic I can't wait to dive into. And just again, like huge welcome to you, Celia.
Oh, thank you. I love it. It makes me
Yeah.
smile. I don't know why. Well, that I call myself baddie Pilates teacher, but when someone says it, I'm just like, okay, all that shy, like,
Yeah.
ah.
I love that you call yourself that because I'm like, yes, she is a baddie Pilates teacher.
Aw.
It's so clear. Like as soon as you get onto your Instagram profile, it's like, yes, she's got it.
Oh, thank
I
you.
like it a lot.
And thank you for
And
inviting me.
of course. No, the honor is all mine. Thank you for your time to just come onto here and obviously share because I know
Mhm.
you have a lot to share. So
Yeah, I'm passionate about it. So yeah, if I talk too much, let me know.
there's no such thing as too much. Like you just do your thing and it will be
hmm
perfect. Amazing.
Okay.
So the first thing that I really love asking any of my guests actually is really about how did you get to where you are today and how did you also kind of like embark on this journey and being so passionate about self-love and sensuality and femininity.
Okay. Wow.
The big
Um,
one.
I try to summarize it. I won't, yeah, trying to won't go otherwise we be here forever. But essentially it's the self-love really started because of relationships. I think for a lot of people it's the same. You come to a relationship and that's when you find self-love. It started in 2020. My self-love journey only started 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Before that, I didn't really know what self-love was. I thought self-love was just like get my hair done, get my nails done,
Yeah.
get a face mask. Don't get me wrong, those are important, those are self-care, but self-love is very deep.
Mm.
Um, and so yeah, so been through some shitty relationships, uh, learned so much from them. Learned that I never respected myself, never loved myself. I've been in a toxic relationship where someone like destroyed my confidence, made me
Oof.
feel that I'm not good enough, made me feel that I need to suppress my personality and all of that, right? So that's how it started, really. It's all the experiences. And how did I become like so embracing all about embracing sensuality and femininity? It is related to self-love as well. So the beginning of my journey of self-love, I so basically when I first left my relationship, I decided my 9-year relationship that is, by the way.
Mhm.
I decided, I'm gonna start doing something for myself. I'm gonna do something that I've always wanted to do. I love, which is dancing. So since
Oh,
young, I've always loved dancing, and I did dance a little bit when I was young. Like I did street jazz, things like that when I was younger. But when I got into the 9-year relationship, I had this boyfriend that was quite judgmental, just like would nitpick certain things, make comments
mhm.
about me, make me feel a bit uncomfortable about myself. But anyway, so after leaving that, you know what, I'm gonna go to dancing. And I remember how I started. Basically, I started dancing in heels, so it's called heels class.
Oof.
And how I found out is I followed this LA choreographer called Aliyah Janelle, and I remember coming across her Instagram. This is before she was even big. She's not right now. She's massive now. But before, when I first discovered her back in 2019 actually, or 2018, I was following her. I was like, I wish there were classes like this in London. So I was just following, just watching her videos. And eventually, when I broke up, then I came across, how Instagram they do the paid ads
Yeah.
related to what you like.
Mhm.
Some girl actually posted this. It's actually it's a sponsored ad that she's running classes like this, and she was like dancing hip hop but in heels. It was sexy but it was sassy, and I was like, that is right up my street. So do you know who Sierra is, the singer?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I grew up basically, she's like one of my idols when I was growing up because I love the way she is. Like she's tomboy, but at the same time she's sexy and girly. And she's right like Aaliyah, basically the other singer, Aaliyah.
Mhm.
And so when I saw these, like, oh my God, these classes are running in London. So I went, I no brainer, I booked it, went to it by myself.
Nice.
Wore my first time wearing heels, and I had so much fun. And that's how it started. And because these type of dance classes are very sensual, they do tell you to, be comfortable touching your body, things like that. And you know what? That's when I learned that, a lot of women are not comfortable with touching themselves or being sexy. They just think, what? Sexy? That's not me. Ugh, like that. And I used to be that girl. So I remember like when I was with my boyfriend at the back, with my ex, he used to tell me, oh, do a sexy dance for me. Do something sexy. And I was just like, what does that mean? Like, for me, sexy dance is like, no offense, like the stripper, what stripper would be doing. But I was like, I can't do that. Sexy, I'm not sexy. Don't get me wrong. I've always wanted to be sexy, but I just didn't know how. Anyway, so as I started dancing, then I really started getting the confidence, a new type of confidence. I developed a new type of confidence. I was confident because of fitness, but dancing developed a different type of confidence. And I learned that sexy is not, how to put it, it's your being. I learned that sexy isn't just about wearing certain clothes. It can be, but it's also you as a person. I can just be wearing tracksuit bottom, this top here, tracksuit bottom, but still feel sexy about myself. It's about how you feel about yourself. I feel sexy even just now. You know what I mean? Sexy is also your confidence. It's your being. Like I said, your being. If you ask some men, you always ask them, like, what do you find sexy in a woman? Some will tell you it's their confidence. I love it when a woman is confident. It turns me on. Not because they're showing their cleavage and things like that. Don't get me wrong. You will get attention from that, but doesn't mean you're actually sexy. So yes, I would say sexy is subjective, but for me, sexy is the being, it's my confidence. And so yeah, going back to sensuality, also sex and sensuality are two different things. That's what I learned as well on my journey, on the self-love journey. I learned that sexy is one thing, but sensuality is also being in touch with my body and really just being my feels, and the femininity didn't come until like 2 years ago. So it didn't all come all in one go.
Came
But it was
staggered.
like, yeah, exactly. So femininity is like really, again, it's getting to more the spiritual side of things, understanding what femininity, divine feminine energy is, and then starting to really embrace it. And also learning, so part of the self-love journey is learning how to forgive yourself and being accountable of your own mistakes, right? In a relationship, when you leave a relationship, it's not just because of the other person, it's also yourself. So I reflected, I was like, and there's a reason I'm telling you this, and I realized that my ex, my 9-year relationship, he used to say to me, oh, you're like a man. I didn't know what he meant at the time. Yeah. And he used to be like, and he never really showed up. It was like, I felt like he's never showed, I felt like he never really gets stuff done. It was always me. I always have to freaking get stuff done. And then when I learned more about this divine feminine energy, and I realized why, it's because I never let him be the man. He is an alpha male, but I never really held the space for him to be the man. And so, and I became really passionate about it as I got into this sort of area. And and also in this patriarchal society, a lot of people are not really embracing the femininity because they think it's weak, it's deemed as weak. And it's actually our power. And so that's why now I'm so passionate about talking about self-love. I want women to have the courage to embrace the sensuality and remember, and also embrace yourself as a woman and tap back into your femininity, because that's your superpowers. You don't need to be competing with men. Yeah.
Gosh, I love that story, and I can relate to so much, and I'm just like, where should I even like dig in, because I can relate to all of it, starting from the relationship. I mean, I came out of like a 12-year relationship.
Wow.
And that was rather toxic. And 2 points that you mentioned there that like hit home with me were, one, it takes two, right? Like in a relationship, even if it was toxic, even if the other person did maybe say like really mean things to you and really put you down and made you feel like you couldn't be yourself, there's also a part of you where you're contributing to that. And to own that is really, really tricky and really, really hard. And it takes a lot of like, I think courage to own that and be like, I've played a part in this, but I also have now the power to change that. And that's something I only realized after, because when I realized what was going on in the relationship, I was just like, okay, I need to get out now. Like, this is enough. Thank you. And first I was like just like in this mentality of blaming and be like, oh, you called me this and you did this and you did this. But then at the same time, I had to be like, oh, but I also, maybe I was like too much focused on what I wanted to do and all of those things. And, but the other element that I want to touch on as well is, for example, he, similar to your experience, he was saying things to me like when I went to the gym in the beginning, like I just started roughly 6 years ago, and he hated that I would go to the gym. He was like, "Oh, you're gonna look like so muscular, and you're gonna look like a
Is
man."
he a gym person?
My ex is not a gym person, no,
Okay.
not at
Okay.
all. So he didn't
Mm.
understand it, and he was just like,
Mm.
"It's disgusting and blur." And there was one specific moment where I was super proud because like my personal trainer at the time, she took a video of me from doing like some lat pull downs, and you could see some muscle on my back, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, like I have some muscle on my back. This is amazing. And I went home and I showed him the video, and he was like, ugh, you look like a monster. It's disgusting. And just left the room. And I was just sat there and was like, the fuck? So similar to you, he made me feel like so insecure in my body. He would always comment on like, you can't wear shorts, like this is so slutty, and like you look like a whore, and all of those kind of things. And to me, that still today really destroyed kind of like my confidence in my body. So I would say, compared to you, and I know we shouldn't compare, but compared to you, I'm still very far behind in terms of like my sensuality, or my not necessarily femininity, in terms of spirituality. In that front, I'm pretty good, but in terms of like my body or feeling sexy in my body, I'm still sometimes like I don't feel sexy. Like I just feel like cutesy and sometimes strong, and that's still great. I love my body. I'm so proud of what it can do. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't feel sexy. So saying all of that, my next question to you would be, where would we start? Where would we start to change that?
So I want to say that first of all, about being sexy is, I'm not saying every woman has to be sexy, by the way. So is, if sexy is not for you, then maybe it's not for you. I'm just saying that, right? So me saying, oh, I want everyone to feel sexy is not, it's up to you. If you really want to feel sexy and you feel like it is part of you, then okay, fair enough. But if it's not part of you, there's no point of forcing it on you. You know what I mean? Because some people prefer being like cutesy. Some people prefer being looking strong. But do you know what I mean? So, but sexy, the word sexy for me is just, it resonates with me even more.
Yeah.
But where to start? So I would say dancing. Actually, I would say go dancing, because being sexy is also, like I said, remember, it's a being, and it's also being, it's the relationship with your body. If you start going to the sensual type of dances, by the way, you don't need to learn, you don't need to be perfect at the choreo. I think that's a lot of people why they get intimidated, be like, oh my God, I can't dance to save my life. I
Yeah,
can't even
it's the
walk in
choreo,
heels.
it's the
Yeah.
heels.
Yeah. But you know what? It's actually easier to dance in heels than to walk in heels. Although I can walk in heels, but
I can't walk in heels.
okay. But but when you go to dance classes, I'll give you a tip. Like if you do want to go to heels classes, buy ones that are not so high, like maybe 2 inches high. Stilettos, not the block one. It's actually easy to dance in stilettos also, because it's also sexier. And also you want open toes, not the pointy one, open toes. That's how you get your balance. Yeah. But anyway, going to these classes, also just go to beginners one. Don't worry about whether getting the choreo good right or not. Just think you want to go there just to enjoy yourself. And because you will learn certain moves, like just like simple as hair whip. For me, that's very sensual. Like, ooh, like, do you know what I mean? That's very sassy. And there'll be things like, they might be moves. I'm like, so even at home, you might, so I'm just like jumping from different stuff. But
That's fine.
even at home, like maybe after you come out of the shower or something, stand in the mirror and like, when you cream yourself, just like take your time and just moisturize yourself, things like that. But I would definitely say dancing, heels class is definitely one of them that helped me after my first step. So I would say start with that. But if you really, really feel intimidated to go to dance class, find a friend. Or maybe go with a friend. In the beginning, you start laughing. So, oh my God, like, I look so silly. But the more you do it, you actually will get used to it. The more you do, I think, depending on person, like if you're competitive, you're probably like, oh no, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this right. And yeah. I'll say dancing is first. Number two, like maybe wear something that's more daring, but you got to be comfortable with it. As in, like, you have to be you. Don't try to force something that's not you and just say and wear it for the sake of because it's sexy. But for example, let's say if you always wanted to wear, I don't know, like what do you call it? Those a bralette sort of thing,
Oh,
just for
yes.
example.
Yeah.
Just say it for example, but you've always been shy to wear it because you feel like you're not sexy enough, but you've always wanted to. That desire means that you want to be sexy, right? You have the desire to be sexy. So tap into that. Have the courage to wear that. I don't know if that helps. Yeah.
No, that does help. I mean, with the clothing, I am pretty good because I now feel comfortable in wearing shorts.
Yeah.
I love, so one of my favorite outfits in that, which I do feel a lot like,
Yeah.
if we say sex, then sexy, but also like confident and like, yes, I'm like a femme badass kind of like, it gives me like some different vibes, right? So it's kind of just like this, how do you call it? Okay, kind of like, is it a negligee, which is kind of like a body
Oh
bra
yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lacy body, maybe a blazer, maybe not, and then just jeans. No heels because I just can't wear heels.
That's
It's just,
okay.
I would just, I'm too clumsy. So I would trip
Yeah.
and I would just land flat
Yeah.
on my face and then I would not feel
But also
sexual.
with outfits, it's subjective. What's sexy to you is probably not as is what's sexy for me is not sexy for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't, again, like I said before, it doesn't have to be revealing. It could literally be a blazer top with a nice skinny jeans or something like that, and then okay, maybe heels. And if you feel sexy, then that's your sexy. Sexy is a mindset. You know when they say you are what you believe you are. The minute I believe that I am sexy, Josie, not just men, women start saying to me, "You're so sexy, Celia." It's effortless. It's you have to believe in this. All these affirmations, they will work when you start to believe in them. Obviously, in the beginning, you might not believe in them, but keep saying them. Keep saying them, and you will program your mind to believe to actually believe you are this, whatever you want to say you are. So yeah.
That is such a crucial piece because it does all go back really into one, how you're thinking about yourself, obviously also like the thoughts you're repeating to yourself, as well as then the behaviors, the actions. So the actions we already kind of like talked about, and I love that you're talking on the mindset piece here as well, because it does go into how do you see yourself in your mind? Like, who do you identify as? Do you see yourself just as, or not just, but do you see yourself right now as someone who might be like hiding or cannot be sexy because maybe they don't have like a certain look or something, or they don't have certain clothes? Or is it because something of someone, what someone else said to you? Is it that you took that on as a part of like your identity? Then we got to look into that and shift that. And as you say, we can reprogram that through affirmations, but also just being aware of like, hang on, that actually doesn't make sense. That's not me, not truly me. And as you say, like this desire is one of those symptoms almost that you can say, where you have already a sign of, that's something I don't really identify as. There's a mismatch between who I truly am and who I want to be, and who I currently like portray outwards to others who I am, but it's not me. So this desire to follow that can be like so powerful, and that starts with self-awareness. It just starts with asking yourself, okay, who am I right now? How do I see myself right now? Who am I truly? What am I desiring? And how do I get there?
Yeah. So for example, let me ask you this. Do you see the top you're wearing right now? Do you feel sexy in it?
I feel cute and strong in it because it's
Okay.
kind of like a gym outfit.
Okay. So for example, just like that top, for example, if you feel sexy in it, then you are sexy in it. Because also, sorry, I know I keep going back, but when you walk into a room and you're confident enough and you, like I said, like the mindset when you believe you are sexy, doesn't matter what you're wearing, just a simple top like that. And you're that confidence, you just ooze in that
Yeah.
energy, people would be like, you
Who's
capture people that,
she?
yeah, exactly. Like, oh, okay, I see you, you know. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay, one last question I want to ask you before we
Okay.
dive into the final round of questions, because I love
Yeah.
what we talked about. And you already gave
Okay.
me the title for the podcast episode
Oh
as well.
God.
Sexy is a mindset. I love that.
But am I a bit too dark? Is it okay?
Hmm?
Am I a bit too dark or is it okay?
No, it's perfect.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So one question I want to ask you is actually kind of like we can say a trick question,
Mm.
because what is a question that you would love to be asked about in this topic and no one has ever asked you so far, or just something you just want to voice and want other women to know?
Oh, wow. That is a question. I've never been asked before. I guess I want people to know. I can't think on top of my head what question to ask, but I think I want not just women, but everyone to know that the self-love, once you start your self-love journey, you will become so magnetic as fuck. And because you will learn how to not give a fuck what people think, and you will absolutely you will have the courage to become your true authentic self. Because in today's society, a lot of people, they really care what people think. But if you really work on your self-love, you will build that confidence and be like, I don't care what you think, because this is me. I've accepted
Yeah.
myself. If you don't accept me, that's okay, but I accept myself. So I'm not going to dim my light for nobody. I'm just going to continue being me. And I think I want people to know that that's why self-love is so important. Self-love is not just just saying, oh, I'm beautiful, I love myself. It is part of it, but there's more to it. Self-love allows you to be free, allows you to be free to who you want to be, have the courage to do what is it that you want, because you love yourself so much that you would do that thing or get that thing for yourself. And self-love also means that you understand what you want and what you don't want in life, what you tolerate. You will not settle for breadcrumbs. So self-love is just the foundation of everything. Yeah. I hope that answered your question.
Well, you answered your own question. I
Yeah.
loved it. So this was literally like the perfect TED talk to end the main section of this episode.
Mm.
And in terms of like the key takeaways that I just want to just quickly summarize. One, sexy is a mindset. And I feel like also everybody's definition, obviously, of it is different. So it really depends on how you feel sexy, what it means to you, and start dancing. I feel like actually the universe has been sending this to me as a sign
You should
for a
start
couple
dancing.
times now. Yes, that I should start dancing. I see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
I
so
want
many
to
people start talking about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly touch on the dancing bit, right?
Yes.
Because this is something that I'm quite passionate about, as I also want to do in the future. Is I actually do want to host events where I because I used to touch I used so I can't talk. I used to teach dance fitness in the gym. Um, and that class in the gym used to be so popular. I used to get all different ages, like young and old women to coming in. And the reason is because it's the vibe. I used to say to people, don't worry about getting the choreo right, like trying to follow me and do everything that I do. This is the place for you to just have fun and just shake it off, whatever, right? And so reason why I want to talk about dancing is that I want people to understand that with dancing, it's not just about, being sexy or whatever, but it's also allowing you to be embodied. It's us also coming back to your body. And if you're someone that's really self-conscious, always in your head, dancing is a great way for you to drop from your head into your body. And it just helps you feel so free and just it just feel liberated. And it's just so healing. Dancing is so healing. And also, that, okay, even if you're not a dancer or whatever, let's say you go to, I always say this to people, use this example, like you go to a bar or a club, whatever, yeah, you might be dancing, you're not really, don't really care what people are doing, you don't really care what people think, you're dancing, probably not dancing to the beat, you might not have rhythm, whatever. And then there might be someone out there be like, watching you, be like, what does she think, what's she doing? Does she think she's a dancer? Does she think she looks good? Fuck those people. These people are saying stuff because, one, they low-key wish they were like you, to have the confidence to dance to whatever and not and be so carefree. And you know what? At the end of the day, who's winning? You are. You are having fun. You're having the time of your life. These people are just being boring. Forget them. But then there's going to be another handful of people who's watching you, be like, oh my God, I love her energy because she's so free. When you're free, your energy is so magnetic. You are magnetic as fuck. Being free is what makes you magnetic. That's another secret to being magnetic. I would say that's a secret to being magnetic as fuck, is being free, carefree. That's it.
I love that. I love that so much. I will need to look up dance classes in my area and hopefully I can find one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Questions.
please tell me a number between 1 and 10.
Choose a number between 1 and 10. 7.
Okay, you get 7 questions.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first question. What is the Cilia way of living and leading your best life?
Being free, just being myself, being my true authentic self.
Love it. When shit hits the fan, what do you tell yourself to get through it?
I got this. Celia, you got this. There's no such thing as obstacles, all in your mind. Just freaking do it. Yeah.
Yes. What is your key habit for success?
Key habit for success. I don't know if this is it, but I'm a curious person. So if there's risk, it's fear, I'm gonna do it. I don't know if that is part of the habit. Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
I have to say, like, just to add on to that, curiosity is one of the best traits I feel like in general that one can have in achieving anything, not just success, but achieving literally anything, because you're still open-minded to learn more, to learn different ways, and to just stay open to new things in your life. And that's thanks to curiosity. So
Yeah. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but don't get me wrong, it's not easy sometimes. But I'm like, you know what, Celia, just do it. Fuck it. Like, you don't want to have what ifs. Just do it.
exactly. What is your favorite book that you would recommend to everyone?
Oh, got quite a few. My favorite book. I want to say The Power of Now.
That is a really good one.
Yeah. If you're someone that's always stressing about something, always worried, read The Power of Now. Yeah.
Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, that's right.
I can vouch for that one as well. I love it.
Mm.
What is a word or expression that you say all the time?
Oh, there's a lot. I was gonna say in it, but that's not very intellectual, is it?
It doesn't need to be intellectual at
Okay.
all.
I definitely, but I do say, oh, I love it. I don't know. I say a lot of stuff. Like if you ask someone, what does Celia always say? I'll say juicy. Oh, that is juicy. Or I'll say I love it. Or be your true authentic self. Or I'm a baddie. Yeah, I don't know. In it.
In it. What is the theme song of your life or your current season?
Oh my God. There's this song I've been playing like on repeat the last couple of days. It's called I Adore You featuring Daycom by Hugel, Topic, Arash. Yeah.
Oh, I need to look into that.
I'll send it to you.
Yes,
But yeah, right now it's like a piano mixed with house, but there isn't much, but it's saying that I adore you. I can't ignore, but that's the chorus. But it's that if you listen to music, it feels so free. It makes you feel so free. And imagine this saying yourself, I adore you. Yeah, so like affirmation. So yeah.
That is literally the perfect affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What is one thing that you want to unlearn?
That I'm not good at sales. Is that not totally related, not really related to what we've been talking about, but yeah, like I keep telling myself
it's a mindset shift.
Yeah, I'm not good at sales, but I need to unlearn that.
Well, from now on, your affirmation is you are great.
Yeah.
You love selling.
Yeah.
There you go. Celia, thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely loved this conversation.
Me
I feel like we
too.
could have dived even deeper into things. So maybe you just need to come back at some point and we can dig deeper because I just enjoyed this so much. It was super fun. My cheeks are hurting from laughing so much. But before we wrap up, where can people find you and connect with you and also obviously work with you because you are a baddie Pilates teacher?
Oh, thank you. So first of all, thank you for having me on, for inviting me on, and I actually had so much fun, and you're a great host, by the way. You can find me on Instagram. So my personal Instagram is @im.ciliali. Or if you're interested in my Pilates stuff, you can also find me on @mybody.uk. Yeah, you can work with me. You can either book with me. You can take part in my online Pilates classes. I teach 15 classes a week, morning, lunchtime, evening classes. There's also replays available. Other ways to work with me, I guess. Also, I'm gonna send you the invite. He's coming on my podcast. My podcast is the Cilia Li Show. How else? I think, yeah, if you're a brand, I would love to collaborate with you. Pilates, active stuff, active wear stuff. Yeah, that's it really. Yeah. Thank you.
I will put all the links, of course, also in the description box down below. So do make sure to check out Cilia. And again, thank you so much for coming on. And with that, to all the listeners and the lovely watchers, I shall see you again next week with a new episode.
Bye. Thank you.